next caller is Blaine, calling from Eugene, Oregon. Blaine, welcome to the Narrow Path. Thanks for calling.
My question to you is that I've always believed that young infants dying will be eternally saved. They go to heaven to be with Jesus. And I just heard something of a different nature that a pastor said that regarding infants, that he did not believe in automatic salvation, for it does not measure up to the teaching of Holy Scriptures. How do you feel about that?
Well, your pastor was probably a Calvinist. And,
okay.
Yeah, Calvinists believe that people are born damned.
Okay.
And the only thing that'll change that, of course, is if they reach a mature age capable of making a decision for Christ and actually make that decision. If they are born again and they persevere to the end, if they are elect,
okay,
then they will come to Christ. But if a person dies without coming to Christ, whether they die in infancy or die at 100 years old, if they have not come to Christ, Calvinists teach that that person is not elect, because the proof of election is that God sovereignly and providentially brings somebody to salvation.
I see.
And so they would say a child that dies is not elect because it died before it came to salvation. Now, the argument goes like this. If it sounds bad to send a child to hell who died in infancy, they would say, well, but if that child had lived to an adult life, they still would have gone to hell because they were not elect. If they were not elect, they're going to go to hell anyway. So whether they go there,
stand.
That is a Calvinist stand. Now, not all Calvinists take this stand exactly. I know many Calvinists who do, and it is the stand that is most consistent with Calvinist teaching.
Can you give me scriptures that would say that a child who dies as a youth will go to heaven?
Well,
with Jesus. Are there scriptures available that I can look at?
Yes, I believe there are. When they were bringing the little children to Jesus,
okay,
he said, "Permit the little children to come to me, and do not forbid them, because of such is the kingdom of God," or the kingdom of heaven in Matthew's version. Mark 10, verse 13 through 15, and particularly in verse 14. "Let the little children come to me, and do not forbid them, for of such is the kingdom of God." Now, of such means the kingdom of God is comprised of such as these. These children are the type of person that the kingdom of God is made up of.
Right.
And Paul said in Romans 7 that he had once been alive to God before he knew the law. But when he came to know the law, it slew him. And that means, of course, it condemned him. He was alive beforehand, but it slew him when he came to know it. The child doesn't know the law, and that's what Paul says about himself.
Right.
He says he didn't know the law, and he was alive before God at that time in his life. But later on, the law came. He says it's Romans 7:9. He says, "I was alive once without the law, but when the commandment came, sin revived and I died." And he says, "For sin taking occasion by the commandment deceived me, and by it killed me." Now, killed me doesn't mean literally. I think it means it condemned him to death. So he was not condemned when he was too young to know the law. He was alive in that sense. But when the law came, it condemned him. And then he became lost, I believe. Now, there's a number of other passages. For example, in Isaiah chapter 7, it talks about a child reaching the age to know to choose the good and refuse the evil. That we'd call that an age of accountability. And there are various other passages, but these ones suggest to me that a child who dies in infancy is saved by the grace of God.
Okay. All right, great. Well, thanks for your help. I appreciate that very much.
Okay, Blake. God bless you.
Have a great day.